So can I please bring up to the stage now, please, James Greenwell, the founder of Proto-col, and Luke Payne, the founder of Fulfilled Talent. Grab your seats and welcome.
Thank you.
So one of the challenges grab a mic, sorry. Yeah, they will come on, just hold it and then it will come on. It's as if by magic. Yeah, the mic will be turned on. So I think we've obviously just been through our most technical part of the day in terms of attribution, acquisition, and a lot of this comes back down to people and teams and how to get the people to do this stuff. So we thrilled to be joined by both of you. James, do you want to start by telling us a bit about who you are and the On Group and Proto-col?
Thanks, Tasha, and thanks for having me here. Hi, guys. My name's James Greenwell. I'm the founder of the On Group, which is a house of brands. We've got about 6 or 7, I think, now. We've been going for 20 years. Started back bedroom. It was me and the cat. And we've grown to a brand that's now employing about just under 30 in the UK. We've got international teams around the world, South America, Asia, Vietnam. We're selling the brands in about 27 different countries now. And we've got multiple bricks in the wall. So my terminology of a brick is like you've got a D2C brick, you've got a distributor brick, you've got a retail brick, you've got a TV shopping brick. I do much the same as you heard from Guy earlier. Been on TV for 20 years with Ideal World, who've gone under a couple of times. QVC launching in Italy, and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. We're just launching a TV channel. But at the same time, I'm a first-time dad at 51, which is interesting, and also... Did
I hear some claps? I think I heard some claps.
Yeah, and also a competing GB athlete still, 23 years for Team GB this year.
And you've won gold medals.
Yeah, 4 times world champion.
So 4 times world champion. James is quite impressive. Luke, can you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry, buddy.
Luke, how many gold medals have you got?
None, no. So I'm Luke Payne from Fulfilled Talent. We're an e-commerce specialist recruitment agency. The only thing I can go close to what you were talking about, James, there is I've recently had a vasectomy.
You got more claps than I did.
I've also got 2 kids, so
there we go.
no hair. So I've been.
Good.
Is that okay?
That's perfect. Okay. We'll come back to you in a second. So I've known James for a really long time, and you for a reasonable amount of time, but looking forward to knowing you for a longer amount of time. But James, obviously I've known you for I don't know how many years, 6 or 7, and one of the things you've always done is built a really good and loyal team, one of whom is sitting in the front row.
Yeah, it helps when he's one of your best mates. You know? He goes and comes back, he goes, he comes back, and come back again.
But you've always kind of built out talent in-house for your group of brands. Why is that, and how have you done it?
Do you know, I think it comes down to a number of things, because it's really difficult. If anyone is looking for answers on how to hang on to your staff, there is no answers. You just have to treat people with respect. You make the environment that they live and work in as good as you possibly can, and we do some really cool stuff, because we are in the sticks of Westbury, and someone said, "Where's Westbury?" It's Wiltshire. It's, go to Stonehenge, turn right, and you'll find it somewhere, but there's nothing in Westbury. So it's very difficult. So what we try and do is make the environment that our team work in as good as we possibly can. Now, being in the health and beauty industry, one of the things we do is a staff policy of giving away product every month so they can use it. So it's £50 of retail product to every single staff member to use. Now, because it's a supplement or a beauty cream, it's just a little touch here. There's a gym downstairs, which pretty much built for me, but all the staff use it. But it's little things like having great Christmas parties and pizza delivered into the company 3-4 times a year. Just make a point of stopping and saying thank you and making sure that everybody is recognised. So when somebody does something good, we have a bell. It's old-fashioned, isn't it? You've seen it on the Wolf of Wall Street. Ring the bell when you've done something fantastic. But it's about looking after our staff. That said, it doesn't stop some of the juniors who come in, and it is a really good training ground because our seniors are awesome, and they have been around for a very long time. Many of my FD's been with me for 12 years.
Yeah.
Andy, as head of brand and marketing, I say, put all the years together, it's quite a long time now, isn't it? But it's a case of we do get the youth come in, and they come in from the university or in a 22, 23 years old, and they come in and there is a really good training ground. But given the environment we are now, where you can work from home, you can apply for London jobs, living in Westbury, work from home, it's very, very difficult to hang on to people, regardless of what you do.
I mean, we've worked with lots of brands and their in-house teams through the playbooks we do, which is training in-house teams. And James, we've worked with your teams. I do think James's team is exceptionally good and exceptionally stable compared to a lot of e-commerce teams. But you do invest in training for them, don't you?
Yeah, I mean...
So they don't necessarily, you kind of upskill the right people as opposed to necessarily
very much,
bringing in that skill off
working
course.
with you guys is a classic example. You know, we've done it numerous times, upskilled our entire team constantly, and people come in and learn, and Andy is running the actual D2C team in the company is a real big believer, as we both are, is training. It's about training to get results in the competition, so to speak. So there is a training period allocated in the week when people were basically said, look, use this time, go and learn. Don't deliver deliverables, but go and learn new skills. We're constantly trying to push the team further and working in an environment where we're cross-training and up-training.
Right, now, Luke, you coming onto recruitment, and you especially see e-commerce recruitment. There's one particular role in e-commerce teams which seems everybody struggles with, which is the head of performance / head of growth / trading manager / person who's driving revenue is essentially the same type of person that will be named many different things. Can you tell us about that role and why it's so difficult to find?
Yeah, I mean, it's trying to find on a different conversation. Yes, there is a captain who can wear many hats across all the different channels. It's such a difficult thing to go and do. And let's be honest, if you want to find someone to do all that stuff, you're going to have to pay a hell of a lot of money to find them as well. So as a small brand or as a business growing, you've got to work out, in my mind, I doubt, unless you get very lucky, you'll find someone to do all them things. So you need to be really clear about, okay, what is my 1, 2, 3 key things that these persons come in and do, and then you can work around that. And then the other things that you want to add on, then they can be your Brucey bonuses or that sort of stuff, bits that you can then add on to what they need to do. But yeah, I think it's a very difficult, in terms of that job description, that job role. We had a conversation with someone, I think that might have been actually last night, around, actually might have been Beck actually, talking about, is it a Crow lead, is it a head of growth lead for an agency, like what does that look like? And for me, they're two exceptionally different roles. So yeah, I think when you're hiring, like, you've got to be so clear what you want to do, and if you're partnering with a recruitment agency, specifically fulfill talent for your e-commerce recruitment, then make sure that you know that you're able to be clear, so we can go to market and find the right person for you.
And I do think brands have a wish list. I mean, there are some, you said it's, you're training your team, and then there's some people who have exceptional skills, and some of them are in this room today. If I point them out, you'll all want to hire them, but every so often we come, so shall I do that or not? That's the question. But we come across, and even in Bolt Digital, there was a rare character who comes through, who's a very multi-skilled, multi-channel digital marketer who will also self-teach themselves, and that's the commonality if you look at some of the exceptional people behind some of the very fast growth brands we have in the room today. Everyone looks for one person to do all of that. I have come to conclude, after employing around over 100 people, you're very lucky to get that. In all those years of employing those people, I probably found that person 3 or 4 times throughout that period. Shivali's one of them. Everybody else, you have to think, the way I see what you think of this approach, Luke. Have they got one skill, like can they run the Shopify site, and can they do one other thing, maybe I'm hopeful, and then and that's it, that's as much as I'll look for, and the rest they can teach themselves. Is that what you think is a more practical assessment of talent?
Again, I think it comes down to the individual and how that business wants to run. So we're very lucky to work with Nadea and Fiona here. We've just helped find the head of e-commerce. That was a very sort of particular search in terms of what that person needed to come in and do.
But that's a growth marketer.
Well, as a head of e-commerce, that's a different job title.
Okay.
So it's not.
But they're doing the same thing, are they?
Yeah, they are. But also they're running paid ads. They're doing socials. They're doing their Shopify sort of piece. They are doing tons. So it's difficult. I think for me, with regards to actually talking about talent, and you mentioned it there. I think it's great that you're doing pizzas and that sort of stuff as well, of course. But I think to understand, feed you, of course, you don't need it. You're training. But what I think for me, recruitment falls into 2 different things. So what we're doing at Fulfilled, you've got your talent arm, which is finding people, and then you've got your EVP sort of stuff, or your employee value proposition. So understanding what it is from your people that's important. You know, is it great that you've got a gym downstairs, or is it that, or is it the fact they want it remotely? Is it the salary? Is it career progression? What is it? And then allowing people like us to come in and help with interview processes, brand guidelines, employer brand. That's a huge thing, a whole different conversation point of view as well.
Right, James, just to wrap up this panel with you, what's your advice to people? You've been employing people in various roles around brands for over nearly 20 years. What's your main piece of advice for the brands in the room, particularly when looking for those key people who are responsible for revenue?
Well, I think I was very fortunate enough, Tash, many years ago to be in a small business conference with a gentleman called Lord Ian McLaurin, who many of you know took a little shop from like 500 million to stupid amounts of money, Tesco's. And he said to me, to get the right people or get to the company really shifting, you need 3 rules. Now, we heard from Joanna's 3 rules this morning, and he coined it perfectly. To get massive growth, to make massive profits and be very successful, you need to do the following 3 things. Get the right people, get the right people, get the right people. If you do that, everything happens.
Thanks, James.
Pleasure.
We can all take that as food for thought. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks.